Hey y'all, I'm Larry Bird and welcome back to my kitchen. Well, the other day I made a recipe and published it for a copycat Cracker Barrel hash brown casserole recipe. Um, However, although it was good, it wasn't really what it tasted like. I actually went to Cracker Barrel a couple of days after that, had the actual hash brown casserole, and realized that the recipe that I put up was very good. It tasted great, but it wasn't the same taste and texture of the Cracker Barrel version. So today we're going to do it again, and I'm going to do my best to get it closer to what Cracker Barrel is, and we'll see what happens. All right, let's go do it. Okay, y'all, here we go. So, a couple things that I changed. One of the biggest ones is the hash browns. Last time I didn't thaw them completely, so they were still kind of hard, a little bit frozen, which is a stupid mistake, obviously. But what I did this time, I put them in a colander when they were frozen and ran cold water over them to get them completely thawed and rinsed. And then I put them in a tea towel and squeezed all the water out of them. So here I have nice, dry, fully thawed hash brown potatoes. That's the number one thing. Second thing is I decided to do was put more cheese and more cheese in the casserole. So instead of like half a cup of cheese in the casserole and half a cup of cheese on top of the casserole, this time we're going to do a cup and a half in the casserole and only sprinkle about a half a cup on top. Last time I covered the top with cheese and it didn't allow the potatoes, the hash browns, to get crisp up from the heat. So this time I'm just going to sprinkle some cheese on top to get the cheesy layer, but allow the hash browns to get more texture when they're cooking in the oven. Okay, so let's start off with the sauce part of it. So it starts off with 1 cup of sour cream. Now this is a 16-ounce thing, so it's about half of this, 8 ounces. Looks about right. Then we've got a can of cream of chicken soup. Now, once again, this is no sodium. I think this is better. I have to watch my sodium intake, so I use this as for the when I need cream of chicken soup. So I'm going to put salt in the recipe, but it'll be less than what's normally in 1 can of this. So full can, full can in the mixture. Got to get all that goodness out of there. Okay. Then we've got the onions. Now this is another thing that I did. Previously with the onions, I put the raw onions in the recipe. This time I lightly sauteed the onions in a tablespoon of butter to make them soft, so they're not so super crunchy like they were in the previous recipe. So this is about a cup of sauteed onions, sauteed about 1 tablespoon of butter. Okay. And then this is, instead of 2 sticks, 1 stick or half a cup of melted butter. This is unsalted butter. And then lastly, well, not lastly, but next is the cheese. Now again, this is a 2 cup package of shredded cheddar, shredded cheddar. Shredded cheddar, I can say it. I'm gonna put a cup and a half of the cheese in the mix. I'll save about a half a cup, like I said, to sprinkle on top. Lots of cheese. Now salt and pepper. I'm going to put about a teaspoon of salt. See, for single recipe, that's not that much salt, but it does give you some flavor. And then some freshly ground black pepper. I like to get about a teaspoon of that in here as well. Okay, now other thing you might notice is I got a bigger bowl. Makes it a lot easier to stir this. All right, combine this, mix this up to combine it. And try not to get it all over the place. Okay, that looks fully combined. Now we're going to put that here into our hash browns. Mix this together till fully combined. Still slinging it out all over the place. I don't know if you remember last time when I did this, it was really difficult to stir this. I had to actually use a wooden spoon, a plastic spoon, because it needed something more sturdy to stir this up because the hash browns are still frozen. Now it's a lot easier, and I can do it with a spatula. Again, you want to make sure you get this really well combined. Get all the hash browns off the bottom and get them mixed into that mixture. Okay, that looks pretty well combined. Now, once again, as I did last time, because it's just my wife and I, I'm going to use 2 pans. Now, these are 8x8 grocery store pans, prepared by spraying Pam in them. You could also use a 13x9 with the whole thing. If you want to cook this all in one, use 13x9. I'm using 2 because I can use 1 for us. 1 I can either freeze or give to a friend, which is probably what I'm going to do. Okay, so we now put these, split this up evenly between the 2 pans. And then we'll put it in our 350-degree oven, which has been preheating over here. And we'll bake it for 45 to 50 minutes, or until the top gets nice and golden brown and start to see some of the crustiness forming on some of the hash browns. All right, divide it up into the pans. And get it all down into the pan. All right, there we go. Okay, now we're going to sprinkle the cheese. Once again, I just want to lightly sprinkle a little bit of cheese on top, just to have a cheesy layer, but not cover the whole thing. There, that looks pretty good right there. Okay, so now once again, we're going to put these in our oven, 350 degrees, 45 to 50 minutes. And I'll be back when they're done. Okay, y'all, here we go. I just took them out of the oven. Here's what it looks like this time. You see it's got some nice brown chunks and edges and pieces of hash brown. The main thing I did is I baked it for 50 minutes. And then I actually put the broiler on for about 5 minutes to get more browning and more crunch on some of the hash browns. So let's cut into it and see how it tastes now. Going to be pretty hot, obviously, because I just took it out. It's been resting here about 5 minutes. So, all right, here we go. Get some of these crunchy bits over here. Mm. Mm. Yeah, I think that's better. I think that's closer to the Cracker Barrel version of this dish. It's got a better flavor. The texture's better. I think drying out those hash browns the way I did, thawing them, and then sauteing the onions, you don't get that real crunchy onion in here anymore, but you get the flavor. Much, much better. So anyway, here we go. Second attempt at Cracker Barrel hash brown casserole. I think this is a much better version of it. So new and improved. Hope you all enjoyed it. Once again, hit the like button. And if you want to subscribe at youtube.com/@LarryBirdKitchen. All right. Hope you all have a great day. See you next time.